Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Lazar, and tell me something. What are your wants? What are your needs? What are your expectations? And why not, what are your demands of the new war? Today we're gonna discuss just that. Historically speaking, an update such as this one has the very important role, well, has multiple roles, but perhaps the most important and overall role is to grant a new lease on life for the game. Warframe is a very unique game, is it not? I wouldn't call it an MMO, but it kind of survives off the MMO recipe. Every so often, usually once a year, we get a big update with a whole bunch of new things that keeps us busy and grants the game a new freshness, a new lease on life. Now, if you take a look at it historically speaking, Warframe has, for the most part, kept its player base, more or less. Again, there are always players coming and players going. It's important to always attract new players, since new players are the lifeblood of the game. But it's also important to keep your veterans happy. Now, if you take a look at veteran comments in general, we don't seem too happy. Now, of course, I'm gonna include myself among the veterans. I got over 6,000 hours something, and there's really not a whole lot that appeals to me in Warframe in the sense of an end game per se. Now, there are certain activities. You can say Eidolon hunting, you can say endurance runs, you can say steel path. I'm sorry, I couldn't say that with a straight face. It is true, and most players will admit it, Warframe does not have an endgame. So that's expectation number one for the new war. What I need, on a strictly personal and not objective level, is an endgame. A form of actual endgame. That would be absolutely fantastic. Now, on a more objective level, if you will, it's important for any brand new update to attract new players. Keep the blood pumping through the veins, keep the game alive. Because if the game goes dead, then I'm not getting any more content and I'm sad alone in a corner crying, so nobody wants to see that. The beauty of Warframe is that essentially you can log back at any time and all of your stuff will be here. For example, you got bored of Warframe now. Dude, I did everything I had to, I'm a veteran now, which means I stay in my orbiter and I do this. This is endgame activity in its truest form. Now, of course, some players spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and thousands of hours in Captura and fashion framing. And you know what? I'm one of those players. I love fashion frame. Honestly, fashion frame in Warframe is a form of endgame, if you think about it. Now, alternatively, what you can do, if you find yourself getting a little bit salty, a little bit angry, and somehow rooting for Warframe not to succeed, which is, you can try something else. You can try something else for a while, because the beauty of Warframe, with no subscription to enter, there's no bar for you to pay, okay? There's no paywall for you to overcome in order to log back into the game and find all of your stuff. All the stuff you worked so hard to get. Your Warframe maxed out, of course. Your weapons maxed, companions, cosmetics, everything is right here for you for the taking when you decide to come back. And all you gotta do is reinstall the game or simply log back in. And that's huge for me. And for a game such as Warframe, the fact that you can anytime come back and enjoy some brand new content. And that's what I noticed, again, historically speaking, what most veteran players do. For example, if I take a look at my friends list now. Oh boy. There's 4 people online. Remind me to show you my friends list after the new war hits. Honestly, like, my friend list go full. And so many players that I used to have fun with and I used to play with and, you know, have a good time generally in Warframe come back. I had the same happen with Fortuna. Fortuna came out, and honestly, I love Fortuna. You guys love Fortuna? Oh, come on. Fortuna was good. Fortuna was nice. Fortuna was a little bit buggy compared to Railjack, at least, but more on the Railjack later. I loved Fortuna. It revitalized the game, and I still have so many things to explore left in Orvalis and Fortuna. And I love the idea that there's still a little bit of content for me to explore. I've kind of been saving it. I'm that kind of player. I save a few quests, I save some lore, I save some stuff for a rainy day, if you will. Now, Fortuna was great, but Fortuna was also showcased, if I remember correctly, and I do, with Railjack. You guys remember Railjack? Oh, yeah. Essentially, Mag came out of Fortuna, it was snow, it was beautiful, she was looking for poop, and then all of a sudden, out of the sky, comes this big, imposing ship, and Mag jumps on it, and then space battle ensues, and Excalibur boards an enemy ship, and oh my god, our minds were epically blown. Hashtag blown. But of course, to get to that actual point, it really took a while. We only got to that point realistically in terms of gameplay and enjoyment out of Railjack with Railjack 2.0. Railjack's release was a giant mess, probably one of the biggest in Warframe history because they dropped it. It was full of bugs, it was full of issues, and let's go on vacation. You guys remember that song? Come on, it was funny. Try not to take it personally, D, but it was funny. I gotta link it somewhere too. That song is amazing. And it took them a long while to iron out the issues. And they haven't really fully made it approachable, accessible to most players until Railjack 2.0. Now, don't get me wrong, my friends. Right now, Railjack, in my humblest of opinion, is a lot of fun. I enjoy Railjack. With my friends, without my friends. In general, I prefer playing with my friends, but this is awesome. I like Railjack. I'm looking forward to maxing out everything. And there's also some stuff to be said about Necromechs as well, since Digital Extremes did tell us that we're gonna be needing Necromechs and Railjack for the new war. So believe it or not, for the first time ever, I started formatting my stuff. What is it called? The Void Rig. Look at that, my friends. Look at that. I got free format in my Void Rig. Honestly, building your Void Rig, there's no meta necessarily per se. There's a lot of personal preference because there's plenty of space, plenty of everything for you to make it however you want. And you know what? I'm really curious to see the implementation they will have for Railjack and Necromechs and all of this stuff together in the new war. Because you know how it is with a salad, right? If you add too many ingredients, then it just won't work. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Getting back to the initial point, yes, I want an endgame from the new war. I desperately need an endgame for the new war. I want it to attract new players. And as for you, my friends, I'm really curious. What are your expectations? What do you want from the new war? Now, of course, what you want and what we'll actually get might be very different things. If you take a look at the information that it's already out there, what do we see? We saw Call of Duty. Dude, players lost it when Call of Duty ensued on stream. It was so cool. It was awesome. And granted, it looked amazing and all whatnot, but it was a scripted gameplay event. You know how old that's gonna get? How quick? And we also saw the Corpus guy, his name with a V, Vaccine Zafi, I forgot, you let me know in the comments. And of course, we saw the mighty Tension with two swords and swishing it, catch. Maybe they're gonna make Tension into a Warframe like they did with... I guess I shouldn't spoil. Actually, ignore what I said. Obviously, like most dedicated fans or players of Warframe, I want to see the continuation of the story. What happened to the Lotus? Are we gonna fight the Sentients? It's called the new war, so it's gonna be all-out war. And I'm really curious to see how all that will play out in actual gameplay. And of course, what is the continuation of the story? The main plot of Warframe, which so many players are looking forward to. I'm really hoping they did a fantastic job with that. Now, of course, past the lore, past the story, I'm interested in seeing all the brand new tile sets. Sentient themed. Maybe we're even gonna have something totally different from the Sentients. Maybe Orokin Reborn or something of the sort. I'm looking forward to see all the weapons, Warframes, brand new Warframes, all of this packed into a single update. Obviously, it can go wrong. And historically speaking, again, there's probably gonna be some bugs, but I believe we will not get to see another Railjack episode. I believe that the developer learned its lesson, and also I'm a bit of an optimistic kind of guy. I think we're gonna get something more close to Fortuna as an experience rather than Railjack was. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, and whatever else I can cross it. But that's it for me. What do you guys want? What do you need? And what do you think will happen with the release of the new war? As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And I'm looking forward to reading what do you think in the comment section down below. But until next time, my friends, bye-bye.